Today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Only noobs go online without protecting their data. Don't be a noob. Protect yourself at expressvpn.com/inside. Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It is the weekend roundup. So let's talk some more about PS5 scalping. I know we did a daily a little while back about scalpers getting robbed, but man, the scalping overall has gotten really out of hand. It's gotten to the point where scalpers have supplies of PS5s that are far, far bigger than any retailers. Here's how nuts it's gotten. One reselling group snagged nearly 3,500 PS5s using bots, probably why you couldn't get one online. It's also why all the sites crash, because these guys are the worst. So this group in particular is called Crep Chief Notify. They talked to Business Insider about their nefarious schemes to stockpile PS5s. One manager told the publication the reason they were so successful was because we knew where to go before they announced it. Ugh, these guys, I hate them. The group is made up of 12 staffers. They charge a subscription fee for access to their services. That subscription fee ranges from $40 to more than $500. That's insane. For that money, basically you get access to botting services that let you get things like PS5s that I assume people go ahead and resell. This particular group's background is in sneaker reselling, especially hard to find shoes like Yeezys. I'm too old to know what that is, but they said they broadened to include stuff like next-gen consoles. Even hot tubs were apparently a hot item at one point. These guys basically just go after whatever's in short supply and they gobble them up. When it comes to next-gen consoles, the group started preparing early. One manager named Tom said his group was watching all the sites for when they drop stock and, quote, running bots for members to almost 100% guarantee at least one PS5. They also use software designed to circumvent wait times, jump queues, and rapidly purchase high-demand items, and bots that are able to buy items faster than any human being could. Ugh, I'm getting mad just reading this, and I wrote it. Ugh. Those bots were, of course, a huge reason why Walmart's website repeatedly crashed whenever it got new supplies of PS5s. Of course, a lot of this blame lies with retailers like Walmart and Best Buy, who could do more to beef up security. They could limit orders. There's lots of things they could do, but there's no money in it for them, so they don't do it. And ditto, Sony could have probably done more to fight scalpers too. And of course, they've had supply issues because of COVID, but PlayStation boss Jim Ryan has said in interviews that the PS5 would have sold out regardless, but it's still annoying to see bots gobbling up the lion's share of the PS5s. And nobody seems to care enough to do anything about it. I don't know, it's a bummer. We're gonna get to the rest of the stories in just a second, but first, guys, let's talk HelloFresh. What is HelloFresh? It's America's #1 meal kit. You get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door with HelloFresh. They let you skip those trips to the grocery store and make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. It's easy, guys. Totally stress-free. It offers convenient, no-contact delivery to your doorstep for easy home cooking for the family. Great value, too. Save 40% when you use HelloFresh versus shopping at the grocery store. I got it. They just drop it off at your door. It comes in a box. They have your meal kits, all of them individually kind of bagged up. Super easy to use. Very delicious and nutritious. They deliver fresh, high-quality, pre-portioned ingredients so you can make meals that are delicious and nutritious. Over 90% of ingredients are sourced directly from the growers to ensure peak flavor and ripeness. There's something everybody will enjoy. 20-minute meals, low-calorie, vegetarian, kid-approved recipes, more. It's also super flexible for your lifestyle. You can change your delivery days super easy or your meal plan preferences. You can skip a week whenever you need to right on the app. Keep your fridge stocked by adding extra meals or additional proteins. Quick meals like breakfast on the go or their 10-minute lunches. Even desserts. I have used it. I made a salmon thing just a few days ago. It was like salmon with a little apricot sauce over it. Oh, it was so good. I've never cooked salmon before. They make it easy though, because they got like this card that shows you everything to do. It's got pictures on it. It's very simple to use, even if you don't really cook that much like I do not. I also made a pulled pork fiesta bowl. Oh, it was so good. And there was leftovers after. It's like I got 2 meals out of it. It was so good. But yes, here's what you need to do, guys. If you want some HelloFresh, we got a great offer for you. Go to HelloFresh.com/roundup90 and use code roundup90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. go to hellofresh.com/roundup90 and use code roundup90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. Thank you very much, HelloFresh. All right, on to the rest of the stories. Sony is obviously focused on the rollout of the PS5 these days, but they also have some plans for some of their online services. So maybe a little cloudy. In an interview with GQ, PlayStation boss Jim Ryan discussed PS Now and PlayStation Plus, saying they're figuring out interesting stuff for those. He said that as he was talking about cloud gaming, saying, "I think the cloud will probably become more important over the course of the next few years, even though there are still business model and technology challenges." He went on to say that PS Now and Plus are very important to us today. This year, we're just trying to keep it focused on the PlayStation 5 and the games, but that doesn't mean we're thinking deeply about our services and figuring out some quite interesting stuff that'll get its own moment in the limelight. Now, you might remember in the past, Jim Ryan also kind of teased they could be working on some sort of Game Pass-like service. He didn't come out right and say it, but he said that they may have some news when he was asked about Game Pass, so obviously, nothing official yet. Clearly something in the works, though. The former creative director of Dragon Age has struck out on his own with a new studio filled with some interesting veterans. So Mike Laidlaw has started an indie studio called Yellow Brick Games in Quebec City and aims to create original new games of high quality. It's made up of vets from EA, BioWare, and Ubisoft who have worked on games ranging from Dragon Age, Mass Effect, Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed. Pretty strong lineup. IGN reports they're pretty small right now. They got a staff of 15, but they are expected to grow. Their plan is to create an original game that will, quote, leverage the capabilities of the next generation gaming platforms, done so with a craftsmanship approach. There we go. Laidlaw, who will be chief creative officer of the studio, said in a release that for veterans of big studio productions, like myself and much of our team, this is the perfect time to get back to a small, agile, and highly motivated group. So there you go. Here's an interesting fact about players on Steam. More and more of them are using controllers. Now you'd think mouse and keyboard, but no, a lot of controllers. Valve has said the number of people playing Steam games with a controller has doubled over the last 2 years, and now millions are playing with a controller. They mentioned that in a blog post talking about how they added support for the DualSense controller for the PS5. Despite obviously a lot of PC players preferring mouse and keyboard, Valve said that millions choose to use controllers on specific games. They wrote that in controller-friendly games, the percentage of players for that game that use a controller can easily be 60% or higher. Some games, such as skateboarding games, have well over 90% of their players using controllers in the game. That makes sense. I mean, some games just naturally lend themselves better to controllers, so it makes sense. Super Mario Bros. 3 is hailed as one of the all-time greatest video games. It's definitely one of my top 5, and now a rare copy is the most expensive. A sealed version of Super Mario 3 recently sold at an auction for $156,000. Why was it so expensive? Well, for one, it's sealed, it's in great condition, but the high price also had to do with the layout of the game's packaging. Eurogamer quoted the auctioneer Heritage Auctions, who explained that exceedingly rare are sealed copies with the word bros formatted to the left, covering one of Mario's signature white gloves. Kind of like a little misprint or something, it sounds like, in a baseball card. If you're wondering, the previous record holder was a sealed copy of Super Mario Bros., which sold for $114,000. All right, time for a 5-second review. As a fellow dude in his 40s with his best years behind him, I really relate to this game. It's nice to see. We're getting our moment to shine. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, Chronos Beyond the Ashes is an atmospheric RPG that chronicles a hero's lifelong quest to save their homeland from a great evil. Grow wiser, stronger, and more powerful as you explore the depths of the mysterious labyrinth. But beware, the labyrinth takes a heavy toll. Each time your hero dies, they lose a year of their life. Yeah, but it's one of the crappy years at the end. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia December 1st. Empire of Sin is a new strategy game brought to you by Ramiro Games and Paradox Interactive that puts you at the heart of the ruthless criminal underworld of 1920s Prohibition-era Chicago. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch December 1st. Twin Mirror Lost on Arrival is a new game from Don't Nod. Sam Higgs was done with Basswood, West Virginia, but it seems it wasn't done with him. When the former investigative journalist returns to his hometown to say a final farewell to his best friend, it soon becomes clear there are more chapters to be written in its troubled history. Forced to confront his past, Sam finds himself torn between reconnecting with his loved ones and using his unique intellectual abilities to uncover the town's dark secrets. But how do you know who to trust when you're not even sure you can trust yourself? It comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One December 1st. Worms Rumble is a Worms game like you've never played before, with intense, real-time, arena-based 32-player cross-platform combat. Get ready for deathmatch and last worm standing modes where you're only ever a holy hand grenade away from death. It comes to PC, PS5, and PS4 December 1st. Sam and Max Save the World Remastered. The Freelance Police are back in a remastered version of their first season of episodic adventure games, lovingly updated by a small group of the original developers with the blessing of Sam and Max creator Steve Purcell. It comes to PC and Switch December 2nd. El Hijo is an exciting spaghetti western stealth game, that is quite the combo, in which you guide a 6-year-old boy on his quest to find his mother. It comes to PC and Stadia December 3rd. Immortals Phoenix Rising. Play as Phoenix, a new winged demigod on a quest to save the Greek gods and their home from a dark curse. Take on mythological beasts, master the legendary powers of the god, and defeat Typhon, the deadliest titan in Greek mythology, in an epic fight for the ages. It comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia December 3rd. Morbid, The Seven Acolytes is a horror punk action RPG filled with Lovecraftian horrors and Cronenbergian gore, making it the most gruesome take on the isometric Souls-like genre yet. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch December 3rd. Gather your friends and come to Tinkertown, a refreshing new multiplayer sandbox experience. Explore magical places filled with loot, danger, and creativity. It comes to PC December 3rd. Fitness Boxing 2, Rhythm and Exercise. Hey, it's the pandemic. Work out at home. Punch to the beat, jab, uppercut, and dodge, and more to catchy pop tunes in this rhythmic boxing game. It comes to Switch December 4th. John Wick Hex is a fast-paced, action-oriented strategy game that makes you think and strike like John Wick, the professional hitman of the critically acclaimed film franchise. Created in close cooperation with the creative teams behind the films, John Wick Hex is fight choreographed chess brought to life as a video game, capturing the series' signature gun fu style while expanding its story universe. It comes to Xbox One and Switch December 4th. Next, one of my favorites, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. The Definitive Edition includes all the content from the original release of the acclaimed Dragon Quest XI and adds extra character-specific scenarios, the choice of playing with the original soundtrack or a grand orchestral version of the music, the ability to switch between 2D and 3D graphic modes, a Japanese voice acting option, and much more. It comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One December 4th. Oh, and FIFA 21. Last, but I guess not least, it's FIFA. You know what it is. FIFA 21 comes to PS5 and Xbox Series X December 4th. That's all the news I got for you this week, guys. I hope you're having a great holiday weekend. We'll see you soon.
This, of course, has to do with next-gen consoles. As you probably know, if you've tried to buy a PS5 or a Series X, they are in very short supply these days, which has led to a lot of scalping. And last week, one scalper became internet famous, maybe not in the way they intended, after they posted a photo of dozens of PS5s that they were selling at an incredibly marked up rate. I mean, no, I guess it was how they intended.